Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off. This is video 2 from our Pentecostal message. And we left off talking about the crisis stage and how the two in this ideology subversion takeover, sometimes they'll interweave both parties into one, and people think that they're voting separately, and they're really not, because it's all orchestrated, which is what I believe has probably happened at this point. For Obama to stand up and say we're no longer America, I think that's kind of like telling everybody that, it's pretty much completed. So this is why this is so important right now, to receive this message. Obama, what I was going to say is Trump at least is going forth and saying that globalism, which is supported and funded Hillary Clinton, is what destroyed America, and it has. And he basically straight out said all the other countries that have received our goods and our businesses, thanks to free trade, which was one of those 45 American communist goals, are basically just stripped America, which is one of the reasons I believe that he is sent by God to save our country. And that's why it's important for us to learn what we're learning now, so that we can understand what's happening around us and not be any more deceived than what people already are. So we'll pick up where we were speaking about, I believe, the crisis. And once the crisis occurs, we've got the influx of immigration, and we have the influx of nations that are contrary to the American ideology. We have the people the people are brainwashed into the ideology. They're baffled by what is happening in our society, and they're actually falling into the guise of, they fall into reacting instead of analyzing it from the beginning, because that's the way they were trained over 30-40 years. This is all a process of the indoctrination. And what does God say? He says they will be deceived. They will not have eyes to see until they seek God, and then their eyes will be opened. So it goes into the third stage is destabilization, which is where we are now. Once the economy falls, and apparently all the computer systems are set up so that when something happens or it reaches a certain mark, it shuts down, and the financial system will actually stop, and that's going to cause a crisis. So we see that once that happens, we're in a state of crisis. That's when the government will come in and seize all of the businesses, the homes, and your rights. You'll become property of the state. The Constitution will be totally void. You will have no rights as a citizen. There won't be any given to you either, because everything that is now will be over. They start fresh from the floor up and institute their own government. So, and part of the process of deceiving people is giving them everything, because that just aids in destroying the economy and the society. The more diversion, the better it is for them. So, so it says, the communist government seizes all businesses, homes, and rights, calling this the normalization stage. They win. So they did it by making you think that there was no threat of war and that we had peace. And the entire time, they were deceiving you. And the Antichrist comes in peacefully and ends up destroying you. Hence the book of Joel. The problem is that once the society figures out what is happening, which is happening now, people are really starting to say, in all areas, people are coming out and saying they're researching, because they're starting to ask themselves what is wrong. And they're learning. But it says usually by the time that people realize what's happened, it's too late. No God, no America, have it your way. So That's just the introduction of what's happened. We're going to go into what does it mean to be a citizen of America? Because, we're going to break down some of these ideologies so that we can actually educate ourselves into understanding just the very basic concepts so that we can see clearer into the situation that's around us. So, what does it mean to be a citizen of America? It means freedom. So, Lord, we pray for eyes to see and ears to hear, and that you guide us, and for wisdom. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. The first obligation of every American is understanding the ideology of America. If you do not, chances are that you have been brainwashed by the process of ideology subversion, which we just went over that. So we got a pretty clear understanding of that concept, which is, so when you look around today and the things that you see, you are seeing the results of years of the process of ideology subversion. Communism, globalism slipped into the country, into the areas of government, religion, social, economics, and financial systems, and they infiltrated the system, and they slowly started twisting them out of the norm of that ideology. So today, that's why you see the church saying, yeah, we can marry a gay couple. That's why you can see the social riots happening. That's why you can see, and people don't realize what's happened because they're too busy. They haven't been trained to think about the enemy, or they've been under the influence that we have peace, because that's what it does. It makes you think you're at peace. God told us the enemy, the Antichrist system, comes in peacefully with flatteries and deceives the whole world, but the elect. Now, the deadly wound will occur to this political system, but the question is it America? Are we going to be the ones under Donald Trump to step back as Britain pulled out of the European Union? Will we be the deadly wound to the system? Will we cause the collapse of the political Antichrist system? Once that happens, the Antichrist will come in, and the religious sector of the Antichrist system will come in. Satan himself will come to the earth as Jesus, deceiving everyone, and he will sit in that place of God. And the church system under the Antichrist has indoctrinated people into a false religion and belief of rapturing away. That, Antichrist is going. They teach that Jesus Christ will come back to the earth and reign and save us and take us out. That is not true. The Antichrist comes at the fifth seal is now. The sealing of the truth, the seal of God in the foreheads of the minds of the elect. The minds of the elect. Once the fifth seal has been accomplished and the blowing of the trumpet in Joel, this message we're covering, once we do that and the children of God are marked, the sixth trump comes in, seal. The Antichrist comes at the sixth trump, the sixth seal, and the sixth vial. He comes as Jesus Christ. He deceives the whole world except the elect. And the elect have a purpose in that time. This is the appointed time in Daniel. For the end days, he said, don't worry about it. This is all an appointed time. So the Antichrist will come to the earth as Jesus, and many will be deceived except the elect. And if it were not for the elect, no one would have been saved. But because of the elect's sake, God shortened the days to 5 months. And the Antichrist can only torment, and his people will come with these demons, fallen angels, are coming with him. And they can only torment God. They can only torment those people that do not have the seal of God. So if you have the seal of God, you are divinely protected because you have work to do. And that's that Pentecostal tongue coming from you, coming from the Holy Spirit speaking through you, to the world, and many will be converted, just like on Pentecost Day in Acts chapter 2. So blow ye the trumpet, warn people of the deception, warn people that this is it, we are there, and we must come out of Babylon. We must seek God, we must fast, pray, and God promises to save us. We are being corrected. And if we don't follow, the wicked will continue in wickedness, but the righteous will come out into that wisdom. So we're going to learn a little bit. We're going to go, what does it mean to be a citizen of America? The first obligation of every American is understanding the ideology of America. If you do not, chances are that you have been brainwashed by the process of ideology subversion. We just covered that in video 1, the message of Pentecost. Let's start by knowing about what stone we are hewn from. What does America stand for? Look clearly at the foundation of the society of America. When you look at the foundation of the society, of our society, capitalism, the foundation is God. It's Christianity. So in order for ideology to be destroyed, they have to go to the foundation and divide it, get rid of it. So we've all been had, basically. And if your family has not been affected by drugs or, shootings or false religion, if your family is in one piece, then you are really truly blessed, because you have overcome ideology subversion. So you should be very, very happy. So the foundation of capitalism is God. What divides nations is their faith. That's why you have communism under Russia, or was under Russia, and then we're capitalists. These are economic systems set up according to the faith. All wars are over faith and religion. Okay, so all wars are over religion. Communist Marxists hate God and want to destroy capitalism. This is their number one goal. All things are spiritual, good versus evil. Every citizen should know what America is. America is God, country, and freedom. A political structure that includes checks and balances, preventing the possibility of a dictatorship, as long as we hold the Constitution as law. So our system is set up so that one man cannot sit in the seat of the White House and decide that everybody's going to pray to another God. That is treason when that happens in the United States of America, as Obama has just done recently. We have a system that has checks and balances. The government, the judicial system, the executive system, and the legislative branch. These are all checks and balances. No one system, no one man, no one group has power to run the country. That would be communism. We have the Constitution of the United States to give us a guarantee that when we have inherent rights, the right to choose, the right to be free, the right to own something, that is America. 2, an economic structure rests on 3 major principles. Private ownership of property gives freedom and ownership to the citizen over his and her life. We have the opportunity to own our own car, to own our clothes, and to own what kind of clothes we want to wear. We have the right to own property like land and a home. This gives us freedom. This gives us ownership of our own life. We are the master. We are the king and queen of our own life. Our economic system allows private ownership. This encourages profit motive. So we are under a system of profit. If you have a profit, then it gives you a motive to work, right? This is why socialism has always failed, because it removes the profit from the system, because you just work to give it to the government. And so when they do that, the people stop working because they don't get any profit from it. And the people are very poor. Just look at Venezuela. Okay. The profit motive economic structure allows for growth, discovery, and incentives. That's why we had the number one, we have the best medical, or we did. We used to be the leader. We used to be the superpower of the world. We used to be the leader in space, like the space, physics, nuclear weapons. We used to be the leader in all of those things. C, open market. The consumer is king. Better goods and lower prices through competition. So the people decide by supply and demand and profit what the prices are going to be. The government does not decide that. This gives everyone the ability to make money, to be more than all you can be. So this is the economic structure. This is what America is. Freedom. Don't forget the foundation of America, because the foundation is what dictates the structure and the economy and the system and the ideals of the nation. It's God. God is the foundation. No matter what people say to you, it was God. God is the foundation. American communists will never say that. You know, they will not tell you. They will stand there and lie to you, but that's their job. Okay. So the second obligation of every American is understanding America's enemy. Do you know America's enemy? Do you know America's enemy? If you're asking yourself, why is this happening? Why is that happening? And you're questioning the things in our country, and they're kind of shocking you, chances are you've probably been around someone who's kind of giving you some knowledge to where you can identify when something's not right. And the Holy Spirit, you can discern something is wrong when you're around it. I'm talking about good and evil. So the second obligation of every American is understanding America's enemy, the godless philosophy. Now this is a godless philosophy because we are of God, right? And the enemy is godless. So the godless philosophy or ideology of communism and its tactics. This is the second obligation of every American. Do you know the tactics of the enemy? Yes, you do, because we just went over them right here in video 1. And we're going to go over more too. That was just an overview. So you know now the enemy can penetrate through physical war and takeover, or the enemy can penetrate within the system and subvert through subversion and deceive people into thinking they're at peace when the whole time the enemy is within, changing your mind to think like him. You say, why is this? The difference is souls. The difference is spiritual warfare. All things are spiritual. Good versus evil. God versus anti-God. Christ versus antichrist. That's why this is important. All things are either good or evil. If you fall from good to evil, you no longer have protection under God. And he will let your enemy rule over you in the harshest way. So understanding America's enemy, the godless philosophy of ideology of communism and its tactics. The communism goal. Do you even know what communism's goal is? The goal of communism is to conquer the world. They conquer the world two ways, either physically with war or through ideology subversion, which is within the country, which is what has happened to America and the Christian nations. They've inserted this guise of peace in the name of globalism when it was really war from within. And that's why American nations are now falling. And they don't even realize it. And continuing to be destroyed from within by their own people, not seeing what is happening. What is the goal of capitalism? The goal of capitalism is to stop the spread of evil in the world. So you have good and you have evil. This is very clear, don't you think, to understand? I mean, people say, well, what's the big deal about globalism? The big deal is it's anti-God, anti-Christ. And if you don't know that, then you have been indoctrinated into it through ideology subversion. If you think it's okay. Oh. Okay. So under your second obligation of understanding the enemy and their tactics, we can go a little bit deeper and go into understand propaganda techniques. The media, economic, social, religion, all are devised to destroy the structure from within. There's an anti-thought dictionary, and what that does is it will aid in identifying terms that are put out there through the media and political system to neutralize the Christian. So do not be blinded or deceived into following their deception, right? One very easy tool to look at is an anti-thought dictionary. You can look up, you'd be surprised. Abortion and stuff, very interesting tool. 2, be active in education, government, and legislation. Tell a friend what you are learning. Tell your friend that God says to blow the trumpet, to tell people to return to him, that they have been stripped by that mighty nation of locusts. And they need to return to their God. Tell a friend. Strive for spiritual growth. Pray, fast, pray, fast. Each day, beginning today, educate someone. Educate someone you love so that they don't fall any further down into the indoctrination of Satan. It is hell. If you're in a church that is teaching that something evil, abortion, homosexuality, is good, you are in a church that has been infiltrated with satanic ideology. This is anti-godly, anti-Christ globalism indoctrination to move you from the foundation of God and His Word so that they can take everything you have, including your soul. Now, I've gotten some of this information from a YouTube channel, and it's YouTube.com/W86QHV7WHJS. I just want to give credit where I got my information for this part. So now that's what it is to be an American. Free. Now, we're at 25 minutes, so I'm going to stop, and when we pick it back up, we'll go over the communist society. America is free. America was rich under God and under His blessings. When we swayed, we were stripped by the nation of globalism. They robbed us blind in the name of love and sharing and peace. The whole time they're just trying to destroy our country. So now that we're kind of waking up a little bit, like Ezekiel said, God said, preach to them, those dry bones, preach the word, and they slowly came to life. We're slowly coming to life. We're going to stop here. May the Lord be with you and me and give us more strength and wisdom to understand and give us the courage to go forward and to understand we're protected as we do. And we're going to pick it up when we come back with Communist Society. God bless you. Thank you.